morning.
Hide away. They say
Great morning.
we don't want your broken parts.
Great morning, Elite Decor.
Be ashamed of us.
Great morning, Greenhouse Soul. Great morning, TST Wins. Great morning, Amanda Nicole. Great morning, Storm NYC, whatever they say. Great morning, Luxury is Life. Great morning! Let's go! Great morning! Let's go! It's time to get motivated. It's time to get inspired. It's time to feel good about life. We don't do no negative energy over here. Everything is all positive energy, positive income, positive everything. Let's go. Great morning. Great morning. Let's go. Let's get inspired. Let's get inspired. We got this new app over here, man. I'm excited. Let's go. Yes. Hey. Oh. Oh. Hey. 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 Let's go. Great morning. Share. 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 Get your friends and family on this call. We're about to get it crunk. Hey. 1, 2, 3. Hey. Let's go. Hey. I am brave. I am bruised. I am who I'm meant to be. This is me. Let's share. Let's get these people on the call, man. We're about to have a wonderful and amazing day. Today is Testimony Tuesday. Yes. This is me. Hey, hey. Oh. Let's go. Hey, great morning. Great morning. We're about to get started. Yes, yes, yes.
I'm gonna send a bird, gonna drown mine.
Yes, yes, yes.
This is brave, this is bruised, this is who I'm meant to be. This is me.
Wow, great morning. Great morning. You guys could tell I'm holding back a lot. I know y'all could tell I'm holding back a lot. It's just that because I'm still in this hotel room. I have to be, I got to be, I can't be who I want to be because we have people that's next door and they working just as hard as me, whatever journey that they're on, because everybody is on their own journey. Let me say that again. Everybody is on their own journey. And great morning, Sheila. Great morning, great morning, great morning. We got some amazing things going on, me and Sheila. Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned for what's about to get ready to happen. No, but seriously, guys, let me tell you something. We're all on our own journeys. And I was just listening to this song. Every time I listen to this song, I learn something new every time. And it was just the way when it was ending it. And she said, when the sharpest words want to cut you down or cut me down, because she's speaking to herself. When the sharpest words want to cut me down, listen, she says, I'm going to send a flood. I'm going to drown them out. This is brave. This is proof. This is me. Do y'all understand? Do y'all understand that? This is brave. This is what the brave looks like. This is what the winners look like. This is what it looks like when you've been through hell and walked out of it and dust your shoulder off. This is what it looks like. She say, this is brave. This is proof. The proof. The proof is all laid in the pudding. The proof has always been there, but sometimes we can't really see it. We can't really see it. Like it's so funny. I was talking to a guy, and I'm always giving my stories. I'm noticing that. I notice how I jump out of myself and I think I got this show together, but soon as it comes on, like how Beyonce say when she hit the stage, it's like a lightning, something happens when I begin to sing that song. I'm serious. I'm not playing with y'all. It's some power in that song. And I was just thinking, I was like, man, I think I'm going to talk about this today, but everything just shifted. So now I'm just thinking like, man, when you really, really, really are the proof of what you've been through. A lot of us have been through so much hell. A lot of us been trying to figure it out. A lot of us have thought we wasn't going to make it out, but then we walk out and then we can be able to share our testimonies. And I'm going back into what I was talking about. The young man that I was talking to, he didn't know he had a real story, he has a real story. And in his story, let me say this. He told me some things and I said, have you ever spoke about this to anybody? Have you told anybody about, your father killed himself? Have you told anybody about that? You've been through all of these different crimes. Have you told anybody, all of this stuff that you're dealing with? And then guess what he said? He said, no, I never told anybody. You're the only person that I told. And I said, wow. I said, you know what? That's where you have to begin to start talking about it. You got to start talking about these problems like it ain't nothing. Because as long as we hold these problems inside of us, we begin to carry them around like baggage. We carrying that weight around with us. And guess what weight does? Weight holds us back. Weight tends to make us not move to our fastest capacity. Weight tends to sink us in the quicksand. So you got to let it go. You got to let it go. And you got a lot of problems. And I'm speaking to everybody that's on here. Y'all got a lot of problems. We got a lot of problems that you're afraid to talk about. And most of us are afraid to tell people what we want to talk about is because we don't want to hear it back in the streets. I'm going to say that again. Most of us are afraid to tell people what we really want to talk about because we're afraid to hear it back in the streets. So what do you do in that situation? That's when you understand and realize when people can see you being the brave, the proof, who you are, this is me, guess what happens? Nothing can touch you because you're not afraid to tell your story. You're not afraid to open up to people to let them know what you've been through. You've let the weight off of your shoulders. You've dropped the bags. You've left all of the weights down. So now you're able to move a little swiftly. You're able to move a little faster. There's nothing about you that's a closed book because everything that you've done is no problem. It's no problem. Isn't it a nasty feeling when you have a best friend and you tell that best friend that one little secret? See, let me tell you my friendship, how I am. And maybe I'm just about to spill the beans. But my friendship, how I have with you, I got different people in different sections in my friendship. All of my friends serve a purpose, as well as I serve a purpose to them. I'm going to say that again. All of my friends serve a purpose, just as well as I serve a purpose to them. I have different conversations that I may have with Stormy that I may never have with Terrence. I have different conversations that I have with Terrence that I may never, ever have with Trina. I have different conversations that I have with Joy that I may never, ever have with Trina. I have different conversations with different friends of mine. And I tell all of my friends different things. So if it ever came back, I know where it came from. That's just how I operate. We'll never get the same story from everybody. But the truth of the matter is, I have very, very close relationships with these people to where I don't have anything to hide. I don't have anything to hide. I am an open book. And that comes from me being able to tell my story, from me being able to say that I was in jail, for me to be, the Billboard music writer, selling tea. That was never, ever, ever in the plan. That was never, ever in the plan. That was never, ever coming out of my mouth to say, because I felt like I had lost. I felt like I had lost, not knowing that the loss was a real gain. And when I began to share my story, share my testimony, share the things that I've been through, guess what happened? More people were eager and interested to know a little bit more. And it allowed me to go in rooms that I had never, ever been invited to. So I want you guys to understand this in the beginning of everything, guys. When you learn to let go of the baggage, the weight, everything that could be holding you down, everything that's trying to hold you back, you become so much lighter. A lot of us are walking heavy right now. We walking real, real heavy because we got so much baggage of things that's on the back of our mind, things that we don't want nobody to know, things of these kind of situations, things that hurt us, that we're afraid to speak up to. And this is another thing. This was another thought that was on my mind, and I believe that it only wrapped around because this is something that I need to say. Stop allowing, hold on, I wrote it down. Stop allowing the same people to keep hurting you on purpose. Second topic, stop allowing the same people to keep hurting you on purpose. The first time, I'm sorry. Second time, oh, you forgive me. Third time, I didn't mean to say all of that. I didn't mean to say that. Fourth time, you know how he is, you know. Fifth time, man, look, it really wasn't my fault. Sixth time, but you shouldn't have had got me so mad. Seventh time, eighth time, ninth time, 10th time, and you still allowing it. You still allowing the same person to hurt you 10 times. You know what that says about you? Say, one, you might like pain. Two, your confidence is super low. Three, you don't know what you really deserve. Four, stop allowing the same people to keep hurting you twice. How many times has somebody hurt you and never even opened up their mouth to say, I'm sorry? And when they do say, I'm sorry, and I spoke about this one time before, the way that they say that I'm sorry is real quick. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I told you I'm sorry. I ain't mean it like that. I'm sorry. It ain't even sincere. It ain't even a real sorry. It's not even a real sorry. It's not even a sorry with a little bit of the explanation behind it. You know what? I'm really, really sorry. I thought maybe, in this type of situation that we would have had to it's not even that kind. And you're still allowing these people to hurt you twice and then allowing them right back in your life. You're allowing the same people to come right back into your life. Why do they deserve a spot at your table? Why do you need their energy? With their energy, is it going to stop you from breathing? Is it going to stop you from paying your bills? Ask yourself these questions. Because sometimes you have to show people on the other side of the fence that they ain't really need it like that. To be honest. That it was really a plus, to be honest. Like you are you got to start thinking, I am the main attraction in this movie. I don't know what movie you watching, but I'm watching my movie. You should be watching your movie. So what I'm saying is stop allowing the same people to hurt you twice. Your confidence is so low, you just got to deal with it. You so needy, you need so much from that person, you got to deal with it. Stop dealing with things. That's what we talk about on this show. Stop accepting what you feel like you don't deserve. You know, I talk about 9 to 5s. But what I know is that a lot of people need 9 to 5s, and I need to get some people that's going to go live. We want to hear your testimony. Let's just be clear why we're here today. Today is Testimony Tuesdays. Today is Testimony Tuesdays, where somebody's going to open up and share their story. Somebody's going to open up and share their story like never before. Somebody's going to open up, share their story like never before. Maybe they never even spoke on a live before. That's what we do here on Tuesdays. What have you experienced, made it through, and can now give us the knowledge about? How are you brave? How are you strong? How are you the proof? We want to hear the proof. That's it. We want to hear the proof. We want to hear the proof. I don't even want to talk about that other subject no more, because I feel like we're giving too much life to it. And that's how fast we got to end things. We got to say, you know what, that's it. I'm done. And to move on. Because see, you'll start thinking about it too much. So now you're bringing a whole bunch of dead worms to life. We don't blow any life to anything that's dead. It died for a reason. Everything dies for a reason. Listen. So I want to see some people that's going to go live, and how y'all liking my little transformation so far. Man, listen, let me tell you something. I put on a t-shirt, and when I put the t-shirt on, the craziest thing is that I was seeing the size of my shirt out like this. And I'm gonna show y'all my pictures when my whole diet is over. Well, and the diet is never gonna be over, because now I understand something different. I understand that I have to live this lifestyle for real. For real. That's the understanding. Because remember, listen, y'all, if y'all really follow me like that, y'all know and understand that I've done this weight loss thing before. And you know what they always say, when you do something, you know exactly how to do it so you can do it again. So I came right back at it full strong. And that's why I told y'all, I said in 40 days, I'm about to lose 40 pounds with these products, right? So watch this. I noticed in my old pictures that I was so big on the outside. My shirt, my stomach would introduce itself before I said hello. You see my stomach from way across the room. If you go look at some of them videos on my page, you'll see the stomach too. But I knew it. I knew that I had to be the proof that the products work this time. I knew that I had to be the proof, because y'all wasn't being the proof. See, I'm going to teach y'all something else too. Whenever there's an open door to success, when you can look and see it, you run through that motherfucker as fast as you can. You don't miss an opportunity. There's going to be somebody smart that's going to come after me to do what I do. That's fine. But I'm about to do it. I'm about to do it big. Because I seen the open door of opportunity. I seen that nobody had a real story. Nobody had a real story to where they really, really, like, we need a big person. If a big person could really, really understand what I know now, what to do to drop that weight in that fast period of time, and that they learn that it's all about discipline, and they learn that it's all about being patient, and they learn about it's about having the right lifestyle, when they understand it's about the right lifestyle, and I knew my dad was going to start calling me. He always calls at 10 o'clock. Even when we at home, he picks up the phone. I guess in his brain, what's going on right now, he knows that I'm doing this show right now. He knows that I'm supposed to be doing this show right now. In his brain, he's hearing me do this show. And I did an amazing prayer. Oh, speaking of prayer, to all you amazing people, hold on one second. To all you amazing people that I don't have the list here. Can somebody DM me that list, like take a screenshot and DM me that list of all those amazing people who blessed that young lady? Man, listen, I looked at that list so many times and I saw so many different names that I see on an everyday basis here on the show, learning, getting the knowledge, learning, getting the knowledge, learning, getting the knowledge. But I also saw another side of everybody. Now, listen, let me tell you this. This is what the Spirit told me too. I can't judge anybody that didn't give. Maybe you didn't have it. But if you wanted to give, that's still an amazing blessing coming to you too. Everybody on that list is going to be blessed. I got some big things that I'm about to get ready to do. And I'm definitely in this. And I was debating this. I said, I am going to give all of those people that were on that list VIP treatment to all of my events, all of my upcoming events that I'm having. So I got the list together of everybody who was on there. And not only will y'all be just blessed for that, y'all also will be blessed to come to my events. And when the first event that I'm having is the vision board party, and the website will be up. It will be visionboardparty.org. So I was very blessed to get that name. Guys, let me say this too. Let me teach y'all something. If y'all have a name that's super wild, like a real name or something like that, and you know that it's a powerful name that could be done in a lot of business, y'all need to keep GoDaddy in y'all phone. And always go over there and just buy you some domains. You can make a lot of money with buying the right domain. You can make a lot of money with buying the right domain, okay? So I just want to say that to all of y'all. I want to jump into, let's see who's going to come on and tell a story today. We want to hear from some amazing people. I believe that we are about to be wild. I believe that today is going to be super amazing. Yeah! Great morning. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
I got to bring this over here. Hold on one second. All right. How you doing? Talk to me.
I am amazing. I have no complaints, to be honest with you.
You feeling good? What's wrong?
I feel great. No, I just needed to do that. I feel good though. I do.
Tell me why you feel good. I see something over your face. Tell me why.
I feel good because I have been through a lot.
Tell us.
Starting at a young age too. At a young age, like I grew up. I wasn't the only child, but I was the oldest. And my siblings, they were stair-stepped. So, of course, I was the oldest. My mom was still young. So, basically, I did what a big sister would do.
Mm-hmm.
But then as a teenager, like, I filled big shoes. And my mom, she moved to another state. I stayed in the state where I was born and raised. I was 15 years old. And I stayed with a family member. That family member, she was young, like in her 20s, and she still was into partying and what have you. I was in high school raising not only myself, but two younger cousins. And she would leave us and travel from Connecticut to California, don't tell me. And I would call her and be like, hey, we're hungry, or we need tissue. And she'll be like, well, I'm in California. And I had to figure it out. Like, I would go in her closet and look at her purse and see if I could find, a couple of dollars so we could go to the store and get us some food, get some tissue, just so we'll be good, because she left. And it wasn't just a one-time thing. It always happened. Like, and I mean always. And then their father was there. He was, he was out in the streets. He would bring them something to eat, but he wouldn't bring me nothing to eat.
Wow.
So it was like 3 of us eating off of a cheeseburger from Burger King and a small fry.
Wow.
And I went through that for a real long time. But then finally I left her house, went to somebody else's house, because I really wanted to finish high school. I was going to a technical school, and cosmetology, that just has always been my passion. And I didn't want to leave that school, because I knew if I left, I wasn't to continue with that program.
Mm-hmm.
And when I graduated, I finally moved down to Virginia with my mom. And I wound up getting pregnant with my daughter. And when she was 1 year old, her father passed away unexpectedly. He had testicular cancer, and he didn't know he had cancer. We didn't know. It was just like, he just started complaining of all these headaches and all this pain. And I took him to the hospital, and, they ran their tests, and the doctor looked at me. And when he looked at me, I already knew something drastic was like really about to change my life. Mm-hmm. And the man looked at me, and he was like, "Does he smoke?" And as soon as he said that, I said, "This man has cancer." Like, I felt it in my spirit that he had cancer. Mm-hmm. Long story short, we found out he died on the 7th day.
Wow.
It was so unexpected. My daughter was 1. I was 20 years old. And I had to go through it. And I never really understood why God chose me to go through that at such a young age. But he allowed me to go through that so that I can help somebody else get free.
Absolutely.
So that I can help somebody else get free, because a lot of people, they think, "Oh, I'm a single mother and they need somebody there." You don't need nobody there. God won't give you the strength to get through it. Yep. I got through it once, and then I had to go through it again.
Wow.
I had to go through it again. My son, his father is, from Jamaica. My mm-hmm. son is 7 years old. His father has now been in Jamaica since he was 2. Mm. So again, God had me go through it again so that I can show somebody you could do it.
Right.
You don't need nobody there.
It's true.
Yes, I've had my family, but it's nothing like a child having their other parent.
That's true.
I was mommy and daddy both times.
Wow.
Both times. And my daughter, she's 13 now. I never had to whoop her, not one time.
Wow.
It was just like God gave me exactly what he knew I needed, because he knew the storms that I was going to go through. And he knew that I needed children that wasn't going to be like out of whack and give me hell.
Right.
So that I could get through that. But like lately, I've been holding back from talking about it. I talk about it with certain people, but it's just like I don't blast it. But lately, I've been feeling the need to, like, I gotta tell my story.
You have to.
I gotta tell my story,
because
I've really been through some. I've been through some things. Like, I had my daughter's father when I was pregnant. Nobody knew this. I thought about it the other day. Everybody thought he was just like this spectacular, wonderful man. When I was pregnant, this man used to make me starve. He would not bring me no food. I remember plenty of days I'm sitting there eating a pineapple for breakfast and lunch because I was hungry. And because I'm dependent on a man. I'm dependent on a man. I'm doing what most of us do. Feel like I got to depend on this man. Virginia was a foreign place to me. So it was like he was my comfort, but at the same time, he was hurting me. He was hurting me. He was hitting me while I was pregnant. Nobody knew that.
Wow.
Nobody knew that stuff. Nobody knew that. That man cheated on me when I was with him for years. I only enjoyed 6 months of our relationship. The last 6 months of him on this earth. He cheated with me with about 20 women. And you know how I got out? God took him.
Wow.
That was how I got out. And I constantly prayed and ask God, God, please get me out of this situation. Please get me out of this situation. But I wasn't specific. I wasn't specific. So that taught me, when you pray to God, you got to tell him exactly what you want and how you want it.
Yeah.
Because he's going to give you what you ask him for.
It's true.
He is. He is. And I kept praying. I didn't ask God to spare his life. I just said, God, get me out of this. And he passed away.
Wow.
He passed away.
Let me ask you some questions. Like, what was it like not telling anybody about this whole ordeal that was going on? How did you see, I'm about to get ready to go somewhere with this, because there's a lot of people that's online are going to be able to relate. Were y'all making like everything was good in your relationship to everybody that was watching? Everybody that, or did people know?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I always like had this fight in me. And he did those things to me, but I wasn't completely innocent. Like, we would argue.
Wow.
And I would just haul off and sucker punch him.
Wow.
Yeah, I would haul off and sucker punch him.
A lot of people would never admit that part of the story. So you mean that you were pretty pushy to what was going on. So you kind of lit the fire sometimes too.
Yes, I did. But you know where that came from? Growing up. That's all I seen my mom do.
Wow.
So I was repeating a behavior. I was repeating what I knew.
It's true.
I was repeating what I knew. And it was just like, when I was defenseless, that's when he would do what he did.
Defenseless meaning you were pregnant?
Yeah.
And you think that was so here's the thing. Here's another kicker. Do you believe, okay, because he stayed in the relationship, and I've been in a relationship to where, and this is what I'm hearing, and I could be wrong. I was in a relationship to where I was with somebody, but I wasn't happy, but I didn't want to leave that somebody. So I would cheat, right? I would cheat. But nobody compared to the person that I was with. We would fight. We would do all of those things that you say, but I would never leave that person. What was in the mix of that, of those things? Because yeah, tell me about that.
I understand. So once he passed away, I knew it was something there, but I didn't know exactly what it was. So when he passed away, that's when things start to come to light. He had a bad childhood. And it was like, when I came to Virginia, I was like, listen, we can't stay at my mom's house. We got to get an apartment. And it was like, I saved him because he was in the streets. He would come home, his product would be gone. His parent would steal his money. Mm-hmm. Because she had an addiction. So his stuff would be gone. So it was like, when I said, let's get this apartment, it was a no-brainer. He was running from the things that he had to deal with. And only thing he seen was, I'm no longer there dealing with that. And this right here, what I'm dealing with you, this nothing. I can run the streets on you because you ain't going to do nothing. You're going to stay here. Like, I know you need my money. You know what I'm saying? I know you need my money, so I know you're going to tolerate this. Like, only thing you're going to do is argue. And that is exactly what I did, because I felt so weak. I felt weak. And I felt like what I was doing was right, because, again, that was all I seen growing up. I felt like I was doing the right thing, being the arguing girlfriend every night because you don't want to come home. But once I started loving me, because he accepted me when I was fat, overweight. Like, when I got before I got pregnant with my daughter, I was a size 9. I got to a size 18 in all of 9 months in that pregnancy. I was so depressed, like, just anything I could get my hands on, I was eating, because, again, like, I had to get it how I knew. Basically.
That's pretty much like where I'm at. Like, I don't think that he didn't care for you. Mm-hmm. I think the reason that he cheated was because y'all would be upset. Y'all would be upset, and then that's where he would find his resting place at cheating while y'all upset, but then realize that all of that was just a dream and a fantasy, and then be back with you.
And you know, honestly, when he passed away, I thought I was gonna like have to deal with all these women and all this stuff. I didn't have to deal with not a one.
Because it wasn't real.
Not a one came out and said absolutely nothing.
Regardless if they said anything, it wasn't real. That's why they couldn't say anything. They probably knew about you. So with them knowing about you, they were trying to work their own set, meaning to keep him for them. But understood that he came back to you. So that's where I am. And I'm just sitting here saying to myself, I'm like, well, maybe that's why he cheated. That's why he had all of those women, from the arguments and fights that you would provoke. That's the word I was looking for, provoking. But you realized that you were doing it. How did you admit that to yourself? Like, when did you finally say, you know what, I am starting this shit? Like, it's really my fault. I'm bringing this on not really your fault that he's cheating, because that's a decision that he has to make. But where did you fall in line to say, you know what, I'm taking ownership for this shit that I'm doing? How long did it take before you realized that? Because that comes with a little bit of personal development, I believe.
To be honest with you, it wasn't until after I had my second child and the separation took place between me and his dad.
Okay.
So what would you say? He was 2. I believe she was 7. So it might have took all of 7 years. It took me a long time because, to be like, prior to my son, I just really like stayed to myself, you know, kept everything bottled in. The only thing I did was go to church. Like, I really didn't interact with people. And I just accepted myself being fat, to be honest with you. I was just like, forget it. This just how I'm going to be, and people going to have to accept it. But then I just got to a place where I'm like, oh, wait, hold up. Nope, I take that back. I started going to counseling. Because I said, this got to get broken. I'm going to counseling. Like, I'm going to talk to somebody that don't know me, can't judge me, and I could just tell them absolutely everything. And when I went to counseling, it wasn't until I started talking, I'm like, I'm repeating the same cycle that I went through when I grew up. And I'm taking my children through the same thing. And I'm like, so if I'm angry, and if I continue doing this, then my kids going to grow up and be just like me. And I don't want that. I want the opposite for them. I don't want them to have to go through that. So I would say it was probably about 2016. 2016, I finally woke up and realized it's time to get your ish together, because you have 2 young children that is watching you closely, like seriously watching you, let alone your niece and nephew, but your own children, they're really watching you, and they're going to repeat everything that you're doing. And it was just like, I started working out, I started losing weight, but I gained my weight back. And the reason why I didn't gain it back, the reason why I gained it back is because I didn't do it for me. I did it because my son's father kept calling me fat. And I felt like I needed to prove a point to him. So I didn't embrace it. But then it was like, once I gained it, it was like, wait, hold up, sis. You did this wrong again. You did it wrong again. And you're going to keep repeating the same thing if you don't do it for you. And then finally, I got tired. I got tired of taking myself through that, because I would never put the blame on somebody else doing it. I'm letting them do it. I'm giving them power. So I had to take my power back. And I started loving me and realizing that if I was dead and gone tomorrow, for real, people can say what they're going to do for your children, but can't nobody love your children how you love them.
Wow.
And that's what made me get myself together. And today I'm still dealing with small battles, but I promise you it's nothing like what I've been through in the past.
Yeah, that was going to be like one of my next questions. I was just about to get ready to say, like, you never told anybody this, right?
Certain people close to me, but I've never been on a live talking about this.
What made you so comfortable to get on my live to talk to me about this?
God been dealing with me with this for days. And actually, I told him, God, you got to work this out. You got to give me the opportunity, because if you wait on me, it's not going to happen. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to have it. I'm going to have conversation with people, but I would never just hit live myself and go and broadcast this.
Right.
I wouldn't do it. And when he was dealing with me, like I even said, like, I'm just gonna start writing about it because I feel like I need to put this in a book because I got so much more I need to say. Because I understand strongly it is going to free someone.
It is. I'm sure it freed a lot of people on this call. Well, I know that it did. I actually turned off the comments on purpose. Not that I didn't want to see the comments, but I didn't want people to be distracted from your story. And, I saw some people talking about their story, and then I was starting to read their stuff while you talking. So now I done lost direction of what's going on. But, I just want to commend you for getting on to sharing your story, being able to open up. I think that is what attracts people to other people. The pain that we experience, all of the hardcore, the decisions that we had to make, all of the things that we endured because we made those decisions. You sat here and told me some stuff like I never experienced. I never been in a relationship to where I wasn't able to eat. Like, so how many other women are inside of the house and the husband is depriving them from food and treating them like a certain kind of way and they don't want to leave? I'm trying to figure out like what made you didn't want to leave at that time. But I know how it is when you're in love. Certain things you don't want to see, certain things you don't want to believe, certain things you don't want to feel, and you become numb. And I'm sorry
to cut you off, but you know what? I think I gotta say this. I was more attracted to the money because growing up, my grandmother, she used to tell me, if he wants some, he got to give you some cash. So it was like how I got with him. It really was for the money. It was for the money. And it was like, to an extent, I started thinking about this recently, like I was kind of prostituting myself to an extent because every person that I dealt with, they had to have some type of money because I kept replaying what my grandmother said to me. So it was just like, this boy, he had money and grandma said, so I got to get this money. And I wasn't just benefiting from the money. I was giving money to my family. Like, I loved him, but I remember what my grandmother told me.
Wow. Mm-hmm. That was the icing on the cake. Mm-hmm. That was the real icing on the cake. So now I could really tell you what happened. Mm-hmm. Because as I was listening, I heard a lot. Not that I was lost or anything, but I started to get a little bit more from you when you had said, that you were doing the sucker punches and you didn't continue to play victim. I think you just were just real. So let me tell you about energy. I always say, well, I just started saying, I just lied. I always say, no, but I do say this stuff, but I just ain't say it all together. I do always say this stuff, but
I hear you say it.
Life is about choices, decisions, and energy, right? Mm-hmm. The choice that you made allowed you to walk into with wrong decisions. So because of everything that took place in that relationship, it was never really, it's not to say that it wasn't really real from the beginning. It was never really real. So you tried to create it.
Yep.
You tried to create it.
Yep.
And the creating that you tried to do will never ever work because it's not working and matching his energy.
Yep. Yep.
So now you're getting negative energy. Y'all going back and forth. Y'all fighting, y'all doing all of this. It's never a real connection from the beginning. And that's what I talk to people about. Like, you can't walk in any room with a negative way expecting positive results. You can get the positive result in the beginning, but later on, it's going to come back and whoop your ass.
Yep. And that's what happened.
Listen to me, y'all. I'm telling y'all something that I know. Any foundation, this is for y'all to listen and y'all understand, and you can use this. This doesn't have to just go for TLC. This can go for anything. This goes for life. This is a nugget that you can have for the rest of your life. Remember this. Remember this, I'm about to paint a big picture, and I want y'all to understand what I'm about to say. Any foundation that is built on anything negative will crumble and fall. Listen, anything negative can build high as the sky, but it can fall like the Twin Towers. I'm telling you what I know. So make sure when you stacking your bricks that they stack properly. Make sure when you stacking your bricks, I tell dudes this about dealing with girls. You know you don't really want to be with her like that. Why you wasting her time? Girls dealing with guys, you know you don't want to be with him like that. Why you wasting his time? Why you wasting your time? Because you think you can beat the system. You think you can beat the clock. You think you can outsmart the energy. You can't outsmart the energy. It's real. You can't outsmart the game. So when you wonder later on down the line, you remember, oh, I was in this relationship and I didn't really even like him, but goddamn, look what happened. When you knew that you ain't like him from the beginning and you just kept going and trying to force yourself. If you don't feel it in the beginning, it ain't there. It ain't there. Some people walk out lucky in your situations, but not all. Not all. And I'm serious. And the thing about it is that's why I say, like, when you said what you said at the end, you closed the gap. You closed the whole gap. It started where it starts is where it's going to end. So it started on an ungreat, stable kind of ground. It wasn't really stable. She didn't like him. Can you grow to like somebody? Yes. But she was liking the money. She knew what she liked. So anything that came after that money situation, it only came because you were chasing the money and he was chasing you.
And you know what? Like, when I was in high school, again, I have all these siblings. My mother, we struggled all our life, was on welfare all our life. And I wanted certain things. Like, I wanted nice clothes. I wanted nice shoes. So because he had the money, I was just like, listen, this is what I'm going to do. Like, I got with him when I was in high school, and he used to pay for me to go back and forth. And it was just like, I don't really like him, but he getting me what I need for school. So I'm going to just make this work.
Let me ask you a question.
I don't live in Virginia.
Let me ask you this question while this is on my mind. What was the feeling that you had from guys that you did like?
Well, I had forced the argument because here I go with this cycle again. I had a guy I was dating when I was a freshman in high school. And
what did you like about him?
He was toxic. That was all I knew. He was toxic. And I thought toxic love was right love. That's all I could really tell you.
So this guy wasn't toxic enough for you?
No, he was, but I wanted his money. My high school sweetheart ain't had no money. Oh. He couldn't give me what I needed.
Yes. So answer this question. And then, so you were willing to accept the toxic without the money, right? Watch this. This is good. You were willing to accept the bullshit with no money from a man that you liked. But from a man you ain't like, you're going to accept his bullshit, but you need the money. Damn.
And you know what? My high school sweetheart, I mean, he protected me. He was out there. He was in a gang. Like, so it was like he could protect me because he liked to fight. So he could protect me. But this one over here, I forced the argument with my high school sweetheart, and we broke up. Like, broke up completely. But that was just to push him out the way so I could get to the money. Wow. Because I had to get to the money man. Because I really didn't want to cheat on him, but I had to get to the money man.
Because he was broke.
Get me the clothes. Yeah.
So wait. So stop. Let me ask this question. Was it just all about the money that's what you loved, because you left the broke one to go. Like you didn't keep him for a side. You got rid of him.
I got rid of him, but you know what? I was living in Connecticut.
Mm-hmm.
So the broke one was in Connecticut. I was still in high school. My daughter's father lived in Virginia. So I didn't see him that much. I only see him during school breaks.
Mm-hmm.
But he would send me the money. So we really ain't have to deal with each other too much like that. The broke one, we still was in school, but when he got a girlfriend, like that broke me down for real.
Who got the girlfriend? The broke one?
Yeah. He wound up getting a girlfriend. And that hurt me because when I came back home, I wanted to dibble and dabble with him, but I didn't want no commitment with him because I knew I had Money Man in Virginia. I'm going to call him Money Man. I knew I had Money Man in Virginia. And I knew if the broke one found out about the one in Virginia, he wasn't the one to dibble and dabble with me.
Mm. So,
to be honest with you, like you just said, I was trying to build this negative tower, but it really crumbled down on me.
Hello, karma.
It crumbled down on me.
Do you ever, because I do you ever think about the bad things that you've done to people, and then when bad things come to you, you like, damn, this is probably my payback from this. Damn, This is probably my payback from that. Damn, don't like, do you have those quiet moments with yourself?
I definitely had them more than what I do now, because now, like, I really, really live by principle, and I really try to treat people how I want to be treated.
Right.
Like, my intention is never to hurt anybody.
Right.
Because I know what that feels like. So before I used to always think about that, like, okay, this got to be happening because I did this, and this.
And that when you started thinking like that, did you stop doing this, that, and that to people?
For a while, no.
Wow. So you were thinking it. You were thinking it, but
I walked around with a I don't care attitude. I used to be like, I don't care.
You used to fight a lot.
Not so fight, because I used to always like carry this stigma, like, excuse me for what I'm about to say, but don't fuck with me. So
you were hurt younger.
Knew.
You were hurt as a young girl. You were hurt.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. People knew, like, that girl crazy. Like, because when I did fight, I fought. And people knew, like, I'm not going to fool with Brianna, because Brianna got a problem. And it wasn't until recently, like, and when I say recently, maybe all of 2 to 3 years, I really let all that anger go. Because even as an adult, I was still walking around here angry, beating girls up, and I was still doing that stuff. I was. I wasn't doing it. I was angry in front of my children. I wouldn't let my children see me fight. But they did know I was angry because I'm always yelling, and, but I had to stop that. That stuff don't feel good.
No.
It didn't feel like, I felt so unattractive. I was disgusted with myself. Like, so yeah, people ain't mess with me.
But I could tell
I
could tell that you've really taken accountability of your shit now, though.
Mm-hmm.
That's the most important part. Like, I can really see that you've taken accountability for it, because even though some people are telling their stories, there's still some things that they would never admit to. And I'm hearing the admittance that, I was this person. I did start this. I did do this. I did build this relationship, because it's really the truth. Only you know that.
Yeah.
We only know what you tell us, but because you're telling us, it's giving off a genuine energy to me that you just say, you know what? Yeah, I used to do some fucked up shit. I used to do.
And I mean, why keep lying to yourself? We got enough people in this world that lie to us. Why lie to yourself?
Exactly. Exactly.
Somebody got to tell the truth somewhere. So I just was like, you know what? If I'm going to keep lying to myself, then I'm leaving the door wide open for me to keep accepting that from other people. No, it got to get closed. Somebody got to stop this. And that somebody got to be me.
Wow. Man, listen, your story will definitely help a lot of women. You will be able to help all of those women that's chasing money and not the man. Because you weren't chasing the man, you was chasing what he had. And see what tended to turn around in a negative form. Like I said, he started to chase you. He really liked it you. And maybe, we don't know, maybe he was using his money to get to you just as well as you probably knew, and thinking that he could beat the system too as well. And then now he's getting the same type of energy that he's putting out psychologically. So it goes really, really deep. That's why you got to make sure you know who you're talking to these days. Everybody can pretend to be this special person. Everybody can pretend to be the person that you need because they know what you got. A lot of people come at me like that. I'm just being honest. But I know that already. I dealt with this for a very, very long time. It's like I've been in this college, university, being on a road with Trina. I know how people come at you. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I have to have a defense up on certain things because I know how it rocks and how it rolls. People will say they love you, they like you, this, that, and the third, and they're really just having their objective on what you can do for them. Like, now, there's nothing wrong for doing things for people, but I just feel like it should be a genuine attraction. So therefore, we can build a genuine relationship, not because of what I can give you or, what you can get from me. I think we should be able to use each other in a great, amazing way, But a lot of times people don't understand that. And that's why we have Testimony Tuesdays. So therefore, people like me and you can get on the show and then be able to share with people, share our stories so that people can know that it's real when you let go. Because you feel better now, though. Tell the truth.
I feel amazing. No, seriously. That's not a cliche. I have no complaints. I can't complain about nothing. Seriously.
Yeah. That's good. And how are you raising your kids?
Complete opposite from what I was raised.
Exactly.
Complete opposite.
Do you share your stories with your kids?
Yes. My daughter, my son sees a lot and he knows a lot because he still has a close relationship with his dad. He does. And we go, back and forth and see him. So once he got older, I explained to him why his dad not here right now. So I'm very transparent with my children. I am.
That's good. That's good. And I just want to thank you for jumping on today on Testimony Tuesdays to sharing your story. You know what I'm about to tell you now, right?
Thank you. Yep. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Get off. Bye. Bye. Man, listen. What an amazing story that was. How many of us can actually relate to the times that we just liked somebody for what they could do for us or what they can give us, and then it got us in a bad situation? Well, we know that will never, ever work. Regardless of how good it looks in the beginning, it won't end good. I'm super excited for tomorrow's show. Thank you guys for getting on. I had an amazing day. New app, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you. Miss Grace Blessing, thank you. Miss C. Williams, thank you. Alicia XO, thank you. Boss Bostic, thank you. Tasha Bray, thank you. I do through, thank you. Damn Ham Girl 78, thank you. Miss Martine Pierre, thank you. Alicia XO, thank you. Thank you to each and every one of y'all that tune in faithfully, religiously, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Q&A with Reginald Saunders, man. Y'all have a wonderful and amazing day today. I'm pumped up. I'm blessed. I'm about to do some yoga. Today, y'all. About to do some yoga and stretch and breathe and stretch and breathe and stretch. Because, life is all about breathing, right? Life is all about breathing. God wakes us every day and gives us breath. Bye. Get off. Bye-bye. Get off. Y'all too. Bye. Get off.